Today was the court hearing for Khabib Nurmagomedov and Conor McGregor. Today they received their punishments for the UFC 229 brawl. Khabib Nurmagomedov has been fined $500,000 with a 9-month suspension. The 9-month suspension can be reduced to 6 months if he participates in an anti-bullying campaign. The $500,000 fine will come from Khabib's purse from the night that he fought Conor McGregor at UFC 229. Khabib's brother received a 1-year suspension with a $25,000 fine, and Khabib's friend Zubaira Tukhugov, who at the time was scheduled to fight Artem Lobov, has also received a 1-year suspension and a $25,000 fine. Khabib has reacted to the news on Twitter. After the hearing, he wrote "Politics forever." Khabib also retweeted this, saying the most important thing, him tapping out Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, on the other hand, has received a $50,000 fine with a 6-month suspension. He can return on April 6, 2019. Ariel Helwani reported that he just spoke to Khabib's manager, Ali Abdelaziz, and he said, "I don't think it's fair. Khabib gets $500K and Conor gets $50K, I think it's bullshit." Regarding the length of the suspensions, he said that's fair. They'll both get 6 months, but for his teammates, it's too much. He also added that Khabib is paying for his own fine and for his 2 teammates' fines, and the $200K for his lawyer. So Khabib will be paying around $750K total. Recently, Darren Till went on a huge Twitter rant regarding Ben Askren. A few days ago on Twitter, Till tweeted stuff along the lines of, "Ben, you're a wanker." He followed up with, Ben, you're a fat wanker." Followed by another one saying, "Ben Askren sucks big horrible herpes cock." Anyways, Till recently went on Ariel Helwani's MMA show to discuss the Twitter rants. Till also speaks on his upcoming fight with Jorge Masvidal.
Yeah, of course, I'm not scared of Ben at all. I remember years ago when I was in Brazil, and my wrestling coach Tim, yeah, there it is, David. Left here. Just drive on, just keep driving. I remember when my wrestling coach Tim used to talk about Ben all the time and big him up. And so I've known about Ben for years. And, you know, Ben come to the UFC and talking shit to everyone, and a lot of people didn't respond. So, you know, who am I not to respond to Ben and talk some shit? The thing is, Ben doesn't know how to take me because he tries to be all intelligent, and I just talk all bullshit. And he just, you know, he doesn't know how to react to that, so it is what it is, mate. Yeah, because I called Masvidal out for UFC Liverpool, so he called me for London, so I accepted, and here we are, fighting each other.
Alexander Hernandez says that he would like a rematch with Donald Cowboy Cerrone. As many of you know, Hernandez was recently TKO'd in the second round by Cowboy after talking a good bit of trash at the press conference.
I do look fucking healthy, I look great. You look like you've served the last 2 terms in the fucking Oval Office. You look worn out. You look aged and withered.
Speaking to MMA Junkie, Hernandez went on to say, "I could see him starting to question things, question himself, and instead of sitting back and being patient, I had this idea in my head I had to get the next one. Where I pressed, he was patient. I pressed to my demise. I gave him shots. I was forcing shots that weren't there instead of picking the ones that were readily available if I played the smarter game. I started exposing myself to shots, giving shots, letting the clinch game open. That was kind of the edge of the fight. Landed a good elbow over the eye, and when you start to see somebody leaking, it's kind of this primal instinct and big adrenaline buster. You can taste the blood, and when you make eye contact, it's like, motherfucker, I just gave this guy the edge." He knew it too. I didn't stop bringing it, and I should have slowed down at times. I got him on his heels moving, and I had it in my hands. To my own demise, I fell on my own sword. A rematch would be extraordinary. That would be so fucking sweet. I don't know. If it does, beautiful. If it doesn't, I understand why it wouldn't. Either way, it was a learning lesson, and if it wasn't this one, it would have been the next one, because the approach that I have has to change. Would you guys like to see a rematch between Alexander Hernandez and Donald Cerrone? I'm guessing not, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Leading up to Bellator 214 this past weekend, Aaron Pico was a plus 500 favorite against Henry Corrales and ended up getting KO'd in the first round. Pico has since released a statement via Instagram. He posted this photo, and in the caption he wrote, "Tough one last night. Had a great camp and felt great in the cage. Hit him with some shots and got overly excited for the finish. Made a rookie mistake and should have executed my wrestling. It's all a learning process and the experience will come with more time. Until then, we keep improving and going forward. Thank you to all of my fans, friends, and family for your continued support." Mike Perry goes on a rant about fans trash-talking him in the comments of his Instagram page.
"You motherfuckers get on my fucking nerves. Everywhere I look, you're fucking talking comments like you know what the fuck you're talking about boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. Shut the fuck up. I will fuck you up. Straight up. I just gambled my money. I lost that shit. But now I'm pointing the finger at you motherfuckers because you are always out there talking that shit, acting like you know what the fuck you're talking about. Danielle will beat your ass. Straight up. And if she can't, I'm jumping in. I'm going to knock you the fuck out. So shut the fuck up. You all fucking suck if you think you know what the fuck you're talking about fighting. And you don't train half as much as I do. I will fuck you up. Fuck you.
This past weekend, Ryan Bader defeated Fedor Emelianenko to become the first ever Bellator double champ. Bellator president Scott Coker after the fight speaks on whether or not Bader will get to defend both belts. Speaking to MMA Junkie, he went on to say that's going to be up to Ryan as long as we don't have the light heavyweight title picture being jammed up. If Gegard Mousasi, because he told me he wants to move up, and Lyoto Machida might want to move up at some point to fight Bader at 205. As long as those fights aren't right down the road for him, we're going to give him a little bit of leeway to say, hey, if you want to defend the heavyweight, then you can do it. Then he'll go back and forth. But I think eventually there will be a bottleneck at some point, and then we'll all make a business decision. Daniel Cormier's coach Javier Mendez speaks on what's next for DC. Mendez also talks about his goal to have Cain Velasquez recapture the heavyweight title. Speaking to BJPenn.com, he went on to say, I don't know what's going to happen now. So many things have changed, the landscape, things that were unforeseen. Now the retirement thing is going to be prolonged. I don't know, 1 fight, 2 fight, 3 fights, who knows? The best scenario is for him to fight Brock Lesnar and finish. We will see what happens, it's hard to say. For me, he is done with the light heavyweight division, so I think he fights Brock. My goal is to get Cain his title back after DC vacates later this year. Once that is achieved, I am on to the next one. Then it will be Justin Willis's opportunity. Yoel Romero versus Paulo Costa is being targeted for UFC on ESPN3 on April 27th. They were scheduled to fight a few months back, but then Yoel had to pull out of the fight due to an injury. Yoel Romero is coming off a loss to Robert Whittaker. Paulo Costa coming off a win over Uriah Hall. Who do you guys see winning this one? Let me know in the comments below. Justin Gaethje versus Edson Barboza is officially set to headline UFC on ESPN2 in Philadelphia. This fight will take place on March 30th. Justin Gaethje is coming off a win over James Vick. Edson Barboza coming off a win over Dan Hooker. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson recently went on Ariel Helwani's MMA show to discuss his upcoming fight with Anthony Pettis. Wonderboy says he was actually very surprised to be called out by Pettis.
I was actually going on vacation. I was going on a snowboarding trip up in Denver, and I literally landed off the plane, and my phone, I took my phone off of airplane mode, and my phone was blowing up, man. And it was like, you know, I was seeing glimpses of things as I was coming out of the airport, getting my luggage, and I was like, wait a second. Anthony Pettis is calling me out? You know, this is the guy that fought, like, you know, at 145. He went up to 155, and that's just 3 weight classes you're jumping up. And you're not just calling, you know, anybody out. You're calling one of the top 5 ranking guys in the division. So I'm like, man, it surprised me. It really did. It surprised me. But, you know, at the same time, I got really excited. I've been trying for the past 5-6 months to get a fight. You know, I was trying to push for Lawler. We were throwing RDA out there. I thought I was going to fight Ponzinibbio this past weekend. That didn't happen. You know, Leon Edwards, he said he had some problems. So I'm like, man, you know, nothing's happening, man. Who am I going to fight? And then, you know, then he calls me out. So I was like, hey, I'll take anything, man. And this actually, it's exciting because he's got excellent strike. You know, this is another guy that trains with, you know, Tyron's Coach Rufus, and you know, I guess they think they got me figured out. So I think that's why he's calling me out. No, to be honest with you, I was just excited just to be offered a fight. You know, it's very hard right now to get somebody in the top 5. You know, let alone you know, somebody below me, which wasn't happening. You know, Ponzinibbio just didn't want to fight. And I know there's other fighters out there, but they had already had fights booked up. But you know, I was excited just to get something. You know, it's been almost 7 months since I've stepped out in the octagon since Liverpool. You know I had a knee injury then, and that was healed up months ago. And I just want to step out and perform and do what I love to do, and that's fight, no matter who it's with.
And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Make sure you subscribe to Planet MMA and click the bell to be notified when we post videos. And also check out our website at planetmma.com for news, blogs, forums, and our exclusive MMA merchandise. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. These comments are in reference to Ryan Bader knocking out Fedor Emelianenko in 35 seconds. First one's from ZK Gallen. It says Bellator put on a great card. I agree with you. The second one's from EP91. It says TJ Dillashaw. Fedor fight was stopped too soon. Alright, that's actually pretty hilarious. And the final one's from Ali Osman. It says Fedor should have retired long ago. What a shame. Those were the 3 top comments from the last video. If you want to be featured in the next video, make sure you leave a comment on this one. Oh, and also don't forget to drop a like as well. I'm out.
What's up, Planet MMA?
What's up, Planet MMA?
What's up, Planet MMA?
It's Dustin Poirier. Check out Fight Ready in the link below.
Check out Fight Ready in the link below.
This is Junior Dos Santos, and I'm here to invite you guys to check Fight Ready on the link below.
If you've ever been interested in training like a UFC fighter or getting in shape, listen up. Planet MMA has teamed up with Phil DeRue and his new online training program, Fight Ready. Phil trains the top MMA athletes in the game, such as Dustin Poirier, Frankie Edgar, King Mo, Junior Dos Santos, and Edson Barboza. Going to MMA gyms or hiring a personal trainer can get extremely expensive over time, so if you want to get in shape and train like a fighter for an affordable and only one-time price, check out Fight Ready in the description below. Use code PlanetMMA to get 20% off your purchase.
Wow! That's fucking insane!